She was called the Russian Rapunzel, a girl whose floor-length hair, delicate features, and mysterious smile seemed to belong to a fairy tale. She captivated the runways of Paris, New York, and Milan, and graced the covers of the world's top fashion magazines. But behind the beauty was a story that would shock the fashion world, a story that still raises questions to this day. This is the life, rise, and mysterious death of Ruslana Korshunova. Ruslana Sergeyevna Korshunova was born on July 2, 1987, in Almaty, Kazakhstan, to Russian parents. Her father, a former Red Army officer, passed away when she was just 5 years old, leaving her mother, Valentina, to raise Ruslana and her older brother. From the very beginning, she stood out, not just for her beauty, but for her intelligence. Teachers describe her as bright, curious, and determined. She excelled in school, became fluent in multiple languages including Russian, English, German, and Kazakh, and seemed destined for a promising future. That future took an unexpected turn when, at just 15 years old, her life changed completely. She was part of a German-language club, and a photograph of her appeared in a local magazine. A London-based modeling scout spotted the picture and was instantly captivated. Within weeks, Ruslana was signed to one of the top modeling agencies, Models One, and soon she was walking in a world she could barely have imagined, a world of cameras, catwalks, and couture. The modeling industry embraced her unique look. Her hair was her trademark, thick, light brown, and cascading down her back, earning her the nickname Russian Rapunzel. It wasn't long before she was featured on the covers of French Elle, Russian Vogue, and numerous international magazines. She walked for major designers like Vera Wang, Christian Dior, and Marc Jacobs, and appeared in a dreamy perfume campaign for Nina Ricci that made her face recognizable around the globe. By 2005, British Vogue was calling her one of the faces to watch, and the fashion world seemed ready to crown her supermodel. She split her time between fashion capitals, working in New York, Paris, Milan, and London. To the outside world, it looked like the perfect life, luxurious parties, glamorous photo shoots, and endless opportunities. But success in the fashion industry often comes with a hidden cost. Long hours, constant travel, pressure to maintain a certain image, and the loneliness of being far from home all take their toll. Friends would later say that Ruslana, while often smiling in public, had moments of deep introspection and sadness. Then, in late June 2008, just days before her 21st birthday, tragedy struck. On June 28th, police were called to the financial district in Manhattan, where Ruslana had been living in a ninth-floor apartment. She had fallen from her balcony to the street below. Authorities quickly ruled it an apparent suicide, citing no signs of struggle. But many people, including her friends and family, were left with unanswered questions. She had recently returned from a trip to Paris and seemed upbeat about upcoming projects. She was also making plans for her birthday celebration. Some who knew her pointed to her involvement with a controversial self-help organization known as Rose of the World. Former members of the group described manipulative tactics, emotional pressure, and intense psychological exercises. Others have suggested that she may have been under significant emotional stress from personal relationships or work-related pressures. Years later, disturbing rumors and conspiracy theories began to surface, including claims about her connections to high-profile figures. One report linked her to travel records involving Jeffrey Epstein's private island in 2006, though these claims remain unproven and continue to fuel speculation online. To this day, no definitive explanation has emerged. Was an impulsive act brought on by hidden depression? Was there something more sinister at play? Or was her death the tragic result of a young woman caught between personal struggles and the relentless demands of a ruthless industry? What is certain is that Ruslana Korshunova's story is a haunting reminder that the images we see on glossy magazine covers rarely tell the whole truth. Behind the glamour, she was a daughter, a sister, and a friend, someone whose life was full of promise, cut short in a way that still troubles those who knew and admired her. Her legacy lives on in the photographs, the campaigns, and the moments where she seemed to float effortlessly down the runway. But perhaps the real legacy lies in the reminder to look beyond appearances, to remember that even the most beautiful fairy tales can have dark, unfinished endings. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe to Icons Unveiled. There are so many more lives and stories waiting to be told. Stories of beauty, ambition, triumph, and tragedy, hidden behind the curtains of fame.